Welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword's with you once again. Let's just get that in the frame. Yeah, this old sword, and you guessed it, Microtech. Well, I waited. A lot of you guys going to say late to the party. Yeah, I know. These were hard to come by in the beginning, and I almost really wanted one in carbon fiber. But you know what this is. No surprise. This is the Amphibian by Microtech, and it's a beaut. And I had my choice of different models from NC Blade. Got to give a big shout out to NC Blade down in North Carolina for having quite a good stock of these amphibians. And it's a RAM-LOK. And which one did I get? I got the Apocalyptic. Let's back out a little bit. The Apocalyptic finish and the OD Green fluted G10. These are coming in around $3. And I feel that the work Microtech is turning out, particularly these days, and I know a lot of people have followed them back to, what was it, 94, when they began, and I had a few of those early SOCOMs and a mini SOCOM and stuff I wish I had hung on to that's hard to come by these days. But I really feel that with all of the fancy blades coming out of, let's say, China these days, and they're really pretty incredible in terms of the features and all the little nuances, that here we have a knife that's both handsome and useful. It is a tool. It is built like a tool. Yeah, it's a lot of bucks for those of you that are kind of buying budgety stuff, and the budgety stuff, there's nothing wrong with it. And a lot of that budgety stuff even lasts a long time, but this baby is a tool. That's the way that I see it. Just completely solid. RAM-LOK is a beautiful function. This one's still a little tiny bit stiff on the close. Let's see. Let's get it with the left hand here. So it's just a little bit of hesitation before it drops, but that's going to work out in time, because the MSI that I carry on a daily basis is completely, you might say, drop shut when you pull back on that RAM-LOK. Now, I won't get into a big discussion about RAM-LOK. It is, as you probably know, Microtech's version of what the Benchmade called an axis lock for many years, and is now in the open market as a bar lock. So this is a different kind of bar lock. As you probably know, again, it compresses a coil spring, and this bar that moves right there slides in over the blade and locks it up like a drum. Now, there's also been a lot of controversy about the whole thing with back wrapping these knives, particularly the MSIs, I think, and they were closing. Couple of things. I don't put that kind of back pressure on my knives. I don't really see a time where that would occur, where I'd hit something hard enough as a piece of hardwood or whatever that's being used to baton the backs of these. But also these newer generations of RAM-LOKs on the Amphibians and other knives are testing out to be not failing, basically. The early ones were the ones with some problems, but even those, they do, I find, wear in and become more solid. But I think that Microtech has corrected any issues with that, that failure, those failures. But I love the fluting. Now, on the MSI it's got a frag pattern, and I think the initial was smooth. Then they went to the frag pattern, And then finally they went to the fluted, and almost all of their RAM-LOK knives now are either aluminum fluted or G10 fluted, and rarely you might be able to find a carbon fiber fluted. That was the one I was after. But I do like their apocalyptic finish. It's early, can't pronounce that word. And I decided to go with the serrations. I guess I got kind of convinced by my good buddy Bob DeMarco, who picked one of these up in black, same thing. Yeah, you've got the chance to really bite into stuff that may slide off of the blade, although the blade on these is just incredibly sharp. And I don't know why I keep using this bubble wrap that I have up here, kind of a stiff bubble wrap pouch, but this will show you that we've got a hell of an edge out there, and even the serrations, if you get in between them, it's kind of, you can do this with paper, but they will slice as well. Very, very, very sharp. We'll do some quick measurements. Overall length, we've got 9 1/4, actually a little better than 9 1/4. We've got a blade that we're going to call 4 inches because that handle kind of changes. If you go down here, you've got actually better than 4 inches. And if you go to the cutting edge of the serrations, you've got like a 3.6, 3.7. But the blade itself is pretty much in there at 4 inches. Oh, hooking things here. Blade stock in millimeters. 4 millimeters exactly, which is going to be 0.15. Yep, 0.15. Handle thickness, pretty slim actually for the size of the knife, 0.48. You might think that's thick, but I really don't think it is what we would call thick. Got my lights rearranged here, so it may take me time to get my arm around it as I maneuver. So the weight is almost 6 ounces. 0.59, we'll call that, or 5.9. There. So not a light knife, but I don't find it's a pocket anchor. I did find that the clip is a little on the tight side, and I tried adjusting that, and I think I did somewhat. What I do is slide a piece of cardboard underneath here, thin cardboard, slide a stiff scraper or putty knife type of deal under there, and gradually just lift a little bit, and then lift again, try it in my pocket. As you can see, we don't yet have any actual visible light or space underneath that clip, which is good. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to bend that clip up to the point where I'm seeing any light underneath, but it's not biting on my pants. And I wear pants, kind of a tactical sort of a pant, outdoor Trailblazers by, I'll give them a shout out, Off the Grid pants. And they've got like a double thick welt over the pocket for keeping your pants from wearing from clipping things in and out of them. So that made it kind of extra thick. But I love just the sculpting of this knife, the way they did the handle. Ergos wise, it is, it's big. I've got an inch hanging out after I grab the knife up here. I've got some nice jimping on the frame, metal frame, and on the blade, so you can place your thumb in either place. Ergonomically, it is a very comfortable knife. It's got a little more drop to the blade and that angle down than I normally would want. But, you know, it's good. It's good. I like the point to be in line with the hand. This pretty much is, but you can see that the whole blade sort of drops down. That's going to improve your shearing power, your cutting power, although it drops the point of the blade just a little bit, depending upon how you hold it. Now, you can hold this knife way back here. You got plenty of handle. And if you need it as a sticker, that's going to work out pretty well. We've got a large teardrop, I'm going to call it teardrop shape thumb stud. And, you know, hard to tell. Yeah, that's looking like it's titanium. Obviously, the blade's steel. That's going to get attracted to it. And the frame, the inner frame, because what we got back here is just all G10, okay? What we've got up front here, you can see that backspacer. So yeah, that backspacer is titanium. Well, there's the outside chance it could be aluminum, but I'm going to say it's titanium. The clip, titanium. So that's the best I can tell you with what the metals are. Obviously, M390MK, their special M390 formula, which is slightly different. It's more of like a cherry-picked M390 is what I understand. Got a little more carbon in it, if I'm correct on that. I think Laren Thomas had something to say about that. Dr. Laren Thomas, the metallurgist we've all heard about. Let's do some compares. Love that suspended bridged backspacer. That's a real fancy kind of add in there. And you can get this knife in a stonewash if you don't like this heavy apocalyptic finish. And you can get it in black. You can get it in desert tan handle. You can get it in a black. I think the only color is black on the fluted aluminum. Here's the MSI straight out of my pocket. So for those that get the Amphibian, because it's larger, it's really coming in right about the same size as the MSI. And as far as this point goes, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, the point on the MSI is, you know, MSI is actually, if we flip these around like this, let's see if I can do that, and lay them over each other. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. We'll see. I don't want to cut myself again. There you see, if we flip this around, reverse tanto, I don't know. You can see that we got about the same angle on the upward tilt of the belly here, the trailing, you want to call it a trailing point, it really isn't. But you've got almost the same profile there by flipping the MSI over. Isn't that interesting? And yes, I did get my MSI with serrations, and yes, I have used those serrations. They've come in pretty handy. Come in a little bit more there. Another compare, we have the manual SOCOM Bravo, which I picked up recently. Actually, let's get the MSI out of there. MSI, by the way, comes with their standard metal clip and not a titanium clip. I sort of prefer it. What can I say? Everybody's got their opinions and their likes and dislikes. So if I even up the pommel from my eye's view, we get about a ½ inch, maybe ¼ inch longer on the MSI. The blades are about the same though. So we've got a little more efficient blade here on the SOCOM Bravo. It is also apocalyptic on this one, but I didn't get it with the serrations. This is a liner lock. This is a beautiful knife. It comes in the clear, natural clear, I think they call it, finish now, instead of the black. That's an option. Love it. One of my grail knives I've been wanting for a while that I had in the old days. One more compare here. I kept this in the box because this is the nice box you get with Microtech. Very nice reveal when you open it up and you get it. All sorts of paperwork, which I haven't looked at because I've got many copies of this. It comes in a plastic pouch like that. And this is the stitch, of course, in RAM-LOK. And that is the frag pattern that I was talking about. This is an earlier one. I have done some back whack tests with this and I haven't got it to fail. So, you know, kind of potluck. Much shorter knife by close to an inch, with a blade actually only about quarter inch, half inch shorter, because again, you've got a hell of a handle on the Amphibian. You can see I'm big on serrations because I think they're useful, so I got them on the stitch as well. Beautiful smooth action on this guy. And I also have the Stitch Auto, which you may have seen in some other reviews and compares. And let's see, I think I've got this knife available for compare. The good old Rat 1. And the Rat 1 is going to be a little smaller. Look at that. So usually the long and tall guy on the block, the Rat 1, is not in this case. Well, I think I've gone over most of the features, and again, late to the party, but I've been waiting. I've been deciding. Really nicely done hardware. This can be removed if you don't like it, but you would need to probably use the RAM-LOK, pull it back to drop the knife, like that. We don't have a deep carry clip on this one. We do have the lanyard hole and that nice scallop there on both sides for accessing the double teardrop thumb stud. Hesitated to call it a thumb stud, but it is. Well, let me know what you think. You may have one. You may have different experiences with yours. Haven't carried this a lot just yet. Came in about a week or two ago, and I'm just now getting around to the video. So you all be well, and don't forget to give this video a like if you would, and subscribe if you haven't already, because you'll be notified about all the good videos and reviews coming out in the future. Take care. This old sword, be well.